Hello, I'm Ashley Brown, and I'm the Senior Director of Operations for Brightree Revenue Cycle Management Services. Thanks for joining us today for this session, More Time, More Confidence, and Greater Gains. I'm excited to also welcome David Housman and Kimberly Mansfield from Hometown Medical in Mississippi to discuss their experience with RCM. David, Kimberly, we're so glad you could join us.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
First, I'm going to take a quick moment to discuss what Brightree Revenue Cycle Management Services are, and then we're going to kick off a question and answer session. Brightree Revenue Cycle Management brings the benefit of a large professional organization without the hassling of hiring, training, and managing internal billing. At Brightree, we offer several different options to support our providers' revenue cycle processes. We could offer full intake services, full billing services, project-based services like AR cleanup and insurance verifications, PAR cleanup, as well as revenue optimizing consulting. You guys know the process of revenue cycle management really starts when the order comes into your office, and then managing it through insurance verifications and eligibility, chasing documentation back and forth with physician offices, collecting co-payments up front prior to coordinating delivery, processing claims denials, and closing out those invoices really takes care and expertise to get you the best results. And if you're like Hometown Medical was and still is, some of the processes you're working need updating to scale. And I think this is a great segue into the discussion with David and Kimberly. David and Kimberly, would you mind quickly introducing yourselves and your businesses?
I'm David Housman, own Hometown Medical. We have 2 branches in Mississippi, and we've been in business since 2002.
And I'm Kimberly Mansfield. I'm the Operations Director for Hometown Medical.
Thank you again. Now, David, Kimberly, would you guys mind telling us a little bit more about what sparked your guys' decision to expand your current Brightree relationship with RCM services?
Well, when we first started with RCM, it was just the revenue cycle that we were buying into. And that was a few years ago, at least 5 or 6, I would assume. And so when we got started with that, we got good cash flow return quickly, within the month or 2. And we could see that there was merit to maybe making that choice. They were just a stabilizing effect for Hometown Medical because our AR was really drifting like most DMEs that are trying to maintain this level on their own of collections and protocols. So it was pretty remarkable how quickly we started recovering that AR and started whittling it down to something more manageable.
And our relationship started with the RCM side, just as the renewal PARS cleanup in 2018. We had lost a billing personnel and decided not to replace that person, but to invest in RCM to help us with that PAR cleanup. And then from there, it went to them handling our PAR renewals altogether for us, which extremely helped us in that department.
That's awesome. So it sounds like with utilizing RCM for some of the intake work, you guys were able to get back onto track, and now these renewal PARs are being worked in a more appropriate time frame.
Very much so. Very much so.
That's awesome. And so if I remember too, when we continued to expand intake services, one of the things that we helped you guys with was your resupply. Can you maybe tell us a little bit more of what you guys did to increase the optimization with your resupply program?
Sure. We were, at one point in time, we were one of the few DMEs that had an closed door pharmacy doing inhalation pharmacy. And it was quite large for a small DME like ourselves. It was bringing in I don't know, 60 or 70 grand a month, but it wasn't where our wheelhouse should have been because the margins were low and our overhead was high, and we decided to cut. This is a decision in June of 2018. We decided to just drop pharmacy altogether. And that's if you think about a small DME, that's quite a big move for somebody to just say to their patients, to the doctors, to the whole team, we're just going to drop pharmacy. We'll make provisions for them to find this. Our customers find it somewhere else. At the very same time, we decided to hire Brightree to help us with resupply in contacting our patients and try to see if we couldn't build that, which is in our wheelhouse, which we were doing every day in the sleep world. And so when we did that, I was really concerned as an owner and a manager losing that income in pharmacy. Well, what happened is the very month that we hired Brightree, the intake process for resupply, sleep resupply, it grew to where we didn't miss the pharmacy income month one. I say that so people can understand if they're on the fence about where they can best serve their company. I say that so people could hear that. It was offset, and we didn't have a dime drop off our cash flow. That's a 30-day period now. And so what we walked away from in pharmacy, we gained through Brightree resupply intake department, we gained in sleep. And that growth has been consistent since that day.
Well, and it's nice to be able to have the confidence that you know that that team is, handling our patients, calling them in a timely manner, getting that resupply out, and has allowed our marketing team to be able to sell that to our referrals to say, let us take care of all your resupply patients for CPAP. We've got this great program that we offer, and it's been able to allow us to grow that side of things as a very good asset for our company.
That is amazing. I'm so happy to hear that working with RCM and using the other modules within the Brightree system ultimately helped recover, your cash flow from that pharmacy cut. What other KPIs are you guys using today that really help you guys manage success in your business today?
Well, I think for me, there's so many facets on that side of things that I watch, and it's much easier for me to know that I've got RCM, the audit team, watching and handling my Medicare audits and dialoguing back to me if we're missing something. It allows me to watch other areas of our business in a more closely manner to make sure that WIT states are being handled in a timely manner, that our billing goes out timely, and allows me to be able to train our employees to watch, little bitty things that people think aren't a big deal, but are a big deal, that when it stops those claims from processing in a timely manner. And I can rely on RCM to, analyze whatever I did have, I didn't have, especially with audits, and from the intake process as well. When we handed over full intake in 2019, it was a huge worry off of us as far as who's watching those faxes come in. Who's handling getting the chart notes, the DWOs, everything from our doctors, and has allowed us to streamline our intake in a much, much timely and effective manner.
That sounds great. And then one last question. Ultimately, are you confident that your business is using Brightree to the best now that you've engaged with RCM?
Most definitely. Most definitely. I know I sleep a lot easier at night knowing that they've got my back.
Well, thank you.
And I would say,
go ahead, David.
I would echo that. I don't know, as an owner, I'm not the most technologically advanced individual in the world, but I'm amazed at what else perhaps is in the offerings for the future. Because as we're going in, working together with Brightree, Kimberly sat in on a lot of different programs and platforms that you guys offer that are futuristic, is what I would call them. And so that, going through this COVID situation, we'll probably uncover some more things that you guys can help us with. Where we need to serve the best is we're the boots on the ground with the customers on the ground, is the way I look at that. And we need support big time in the technology and the referrals and what else is coming down the pike as far as what CMS and Medicare give us. So that's where y'all come in, and it's appreciated.
And there's no doubt that the close relationship that we have with RCM in every facet, whether it be intake management or Connect, the revenue cycle, whatever it is, from the billing aspect, it's important to have that good open communication, which RCM has allowed us to have.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience today. We really appreciate it. And for those of you that joined us, if anything that we discussed today resonates with you, please reach out to us at info@brightree.com to get some more information. We'd love to help support you with our team of revenue cycle experts. Thanks again, and we'll talk soon.